Alright, what's happening, y'all? It's your boy Rico from Street Scores coming with a Redskins report. I'm about to figure out what to call that depending on what the next name is. But you know what I'm saying. Your boy Rico is coming with a Street Scores report for now. I know I'm a day late on the report, but with the Red Wolves video, that was kind of like a piece of a report, so I was like, I'll delay it just a day to spread it out a little. But today, I want to cover a lot of different topics like Brandon Scherff extension is very unlikely. I want to break down some more details that are coming out with the potential name, colors, and overall brand and design of the new look of the Washington team. That also plays a strong factor into whether or not a stadium will be in DC or if we can go back to RFK Stadium. I'm going to talk about that too. Asante Samuel was tripping on Twitter a few days ago. Dwayne Haskins is out here looking different. I want to talk about the Redskins cap space a little bit. Is Terry Mclaurin really the best wide receiver in the NFC East? And also, Alex Smith looks a little bit different from what I remember him looking like. All of that and more. And before we get to the video, we got to huddle up real quick. Y'all know this every time. I want to let y'all know to go buy the best Redskins merch money can buy. Just hit the link in the description of this video under Go Get Street Scores merch. Also, if you want to become a monthly paid member of the best sports YouTube channel out here doing it, there's 4 different levels, each with their own great perks, such as a private Redskins and football Discord group, shoutouts in every video and live stream, monthly free merchandise raffles, exclusive badges next to your name in the chats, exclusive gifts, and much more. Hit the link in the description of this video under Become a Channel Member. Also, pull up to my radio show on Thursdays, as in tomorrow. It's every week. Y'all get to call in and ask whatever question you want to ask, voice whatever opinion you want to voice. It's the time for y'all to be heard. I just want to moderate it. I want to give y'all a chance to speak on whatever y'all want to speak on and voice y'all opinion. So make sure y'all pull up every Thursday, 7 to 8 p.m. That's including tomorrow. And for that, the phone number and the link for the show are in the description of this video. Also, join my live podcast with my boy Shay and Evan, named Broadcast, where we talk about everything. All sports, culture, music, life, gaming, anime, and much more. Anything. And that's every Friday, 8 to 10 p.m. And definitely pull up to the Street Scores full access live stream where I reply to every comment every Sunday 2 to 4 p.m. Very loose 4 p.m. because we go over all of the time. All of which I place the links in the description. Now, let's get it. Alright, so first of all, I want to discuss a few things concerning the name. I'm not coming here to voice my opinion on the matter on whether or not the name should be changed, what the new name should be. I just want to present some facts to y'all. Y'all can go check out my other videos and live streams where I discuss everything about how I feel and what we should do. But as far as facts go, if you haven't heard, Nike will not feature any Washington gear until the team name is changed. That also goes with Walmart, Target, Dick's Sporting Goods, and even most recently, Amazon. All of those big companies have pulled any Washington products until the name is changed, logo, or whatever else we have to end up changing. Also, Dan Snyder owns 60% of the company. There's another 3 people who own 40% of the company collectively, the entire franchise. They're like a group of owners, but of course Dan Snyder has the largest percentage. So basically whatever he says goes. But the other 3 men, as in Robert Rothman, Dwight Schar, and Frederick W. Smith, all went out. They're trying to sell their parts of the team, but nobody's willing to buy it right now. They've hired an investment banking firm to conduct a search for potential buyers of their stake in the team because they are not happy being a partner with Snyder right now, but they're unable to sell the team. And it's wild too because we're one of the most wealthy franchises in all of sports, like period. We're 7th in the NFL. We are calculated to be worth a total of $3.4 billion right now. And that's wild because 7 sounds good, but that's a huge decline. We used to be like top 3 years back when we were more successful and more of a winning culture. So we're still 7th in the NFL, but there's a noticeable decline every year. There were also a lot of investors and stockholders that want Dan Snyder out, and it's reported that minority owners attempted to buy Dan Snyder out for the rest of his share. Fred Smith led the movement of trying to get Dan Snyder to sell his 60% of the portion to them or somebody else, however they wanted it. They just wanted Dan Snyder out. But Dan Snyder said that he would not budge, and he refuses to sell his 60% of the team. So right now, Fred Smith and the other two are just stuck. So we'll see how that goes as more details arise over some time, over some days, over some weeks. I'm going to keep you updated on that, but that's all we know so far. But it's wild. I mean, because 87 investment firms wrote letters to Nike, Pepsi, FedEx, all of those people, asking them to end their affiliation with the Washington football team. And also FedEx, who is the sponsor for the stadium in Landover, it's called FedEx Field. They also have been strongly urging Dan Snyder to change the name. And those 87 investment firms that have requested all of those other companies to stop rocking with Dan Snyder until the name changes, they are reportedly worth $620 billion combined. Hey man, money talks, because Dan Snyder said in the past, in all caps, he's not changing the team. I mean, just straight up said that. But money talks, and when $620 billion worth of investment firms are going against you along with the other 40% of the franchise, once you out, you have to make some changes. And it's reported that Dan Snyder and Ron Rivera have been working on a new name for at least 2 weeks or a month or something. Like, they've had discussions about it. But some clues as to where the name and the colors and the logo might end up being. First of all, it's been reported that the new name will have no ties to anything Native American at all. So I guess they just want to go ahead and nip this completely in the bud and don't want to end up having to possibly change it again in the near future or even the distant future. He wants something that'll last forever at this point. And one positive, at least for me, is that it's reported that the Redskins will keep burgundy and gold as their colors. So that cuts out any possibilities of us turning into like a red, white, and blue team like the other DC sports teams. I hope we change Washington to DC so we can be DC whatevers, but we'll see how that goes. Also, it's been reported that we may have a new name and complete rebranding or whatever they're going to do within 2 weeks. Training camp starts in 20 days, and they're trying to get this done before then. I'm not exactly sure of all the reasons. There are a lot of reasons that they may be trying to rush this as soon as possible, but I know for one, Ron Rivera wants this done as soon as possible so it's not a distraction during training camp. So that players like Dwayne Haskins and Chase Young, Terry McLaurin, all of those guys aren't getting asked about the name every day, multiple times a day. Also, it's been reported very recently, like a couple of hours before I made this video, that as the Redskins have conducted their name review, Native American groups said they haven't heard from the team. So I know they said that they're going completely away from Native American, but I still feel like they should reach out to Native American groups and tribes to at least get some sort of an input from all of them. Just something, at least talk to them. Even if you're going to sway away from Native American, I mean, at least consider them. See how they feel about everything. And make sure it's an honest, unbiased report or survey that goes down. And moving on, slightly away from the name and rebranding, still relating to it though, it's been reported by JP Finlay, who spoke with the DC Congresswoman Eleanor Holmes Norton. She said that as soon as the Redskins change their name, she will propose a bill to get the team back to RFK Stadium. And she assumes that it will pass. So basically, change our name, we're back to RFK like the vast majority of people want us to be. I'm in Atlanta, so it doesn't particularly matter to me where we play at, because either way I'm have to fly a long distance or drive a long distance to get to the game anyway. So whether it be in Virginia, Maryland, or DC, doesn't necessarily matter for me. I guess if anything, Maryland, because I have a lot of family in Maryland, and that's more than likely where I would, rest my head. But honestly, I'm for whatever everybody else is for, and it seems like the vast majority want it back in DC at the very least, and RFK specifically. And I'm down for that. So that's great news. As soon as the name gets changed and there's a rebranding, the Redskins can pretty much just have RFK Stadium. It won't happen immediately. It's like in a few years type of thing. This is not this season, it's not next season, it's not the season after that, it's not the season after that. But at least we know that we'll be able to go to RFK Stadium. And business will be booming. The team spirit will be revitalized. Hopefully that will bring us more Super Bowls, because that's where we kept winning them. Maybe that stadium is good luck for us or whatever. But we'll see. I'll keep y'all up to date on that also. Moving on, and this is the saddest news of the whole video, is that the Redskins aren't expected to be able to come into an agreement with Brandon Scherff on a long-term deal before July 15th. The deadline for franchise tag players to reach long-term deals and restructure their contracts. So sadly, Brandon Scherff is about to just end up playing on a tag for this season, and we're going to have to go through this whole process again this next offseason, 2021 offseason, before the draft. And hopefully then we can secure a long-term deal for him, because I would prefer to keep him here long-term. he may have his problems with injuries, but when healthy, I saw somewhere Pro Football Focus graded him the best offensive lineman in the league for a certain amount of weeks last season. Like the best offensive lineman, the most productive, most consistent. So I'm sad to hear that Brandon Scherff and Dan Snyder and them guys couldn't come up with a deal that was best for both parties. Again, hopefully they get it done next season. Hopefully they get it done next off season, because I really want to keep him here. I'm not sure for him if they're not offering enough money or if he just doesn't want to be here in general. I don't know, but we'll have to see. Hopefully if we go out there and show a lot of potential, Dwayne Haskins is balling, the receivers are balling, the other offensive linemen are balling out, he'll see that he'll want to be a part of this team and maybe even willing to take a little less money because he sees the potential of this team getting him a Super Bowl ring or something like that. So we'll see. Hopefully Ron Rivera can turn this team around, complete 180 from last season, and we can get going. Moving on, Asante Samuel was out here tripping on Twitter. If you didn't know, he was basically on Twitter questioning why Darrell Green was even a Hall of Famer and why he's supposedly hyped up or whatever to where he is, and as far as DBs go throughout history. And he basically accused them of only being a slot player and never covering the best receivers of the other teams. All the lies. I mean, even Tony Dungy stepped in to set him straight and let him know that Darrell Green is a top cornerback in NFL history, period, especially during the 80s and 90s. He was literally right up there with Deion Sanders. And of course, many people from our fan base and even different fan bases and people from like Pro Football Focus and Bleacher Report and guys like that, football analysts that are neutral, even came in to set him straight. So I don't know what Asante Samuel was on that day. I don't know if he was drunk or something, but first of all, it's whatever he said, it was not true. And also, Darrell Green is one of the most humble people you'll ever find. So I don't even know what made him just go and blurt that out on Twitter and attack him. Like, it's all just completely wrong. Asante Samuel, we don't rock with you over here, man. Moving on, Terry McLaurin was announced the best wide receiver in the NFC East last year by Pro Football Focus, and that's moving on also. They're assuming that he's going to be the best receiver, period, in the NFC East next season, which is great news. I mean, first of all, the terrible quarterback play he had to deal with, that's the only reason he didn't win Offensive Rookie of the Year. He also was hurt a couple of games. He went a bunch of games in a row without touchdowns because, again, terrible quarterback play. Nobody could cover him. Even Stephon Gilmore, who won Defensive Player of the Year last season, literally voted the best defensive player in all of football last season, couldn't even cover him one-on-one. So Terry McLaurin has a very bright future for us. I can't wait for Dwayne Haskins to go out there and show us what he can do and reach his potential, because that's only going to make Terry McLaurin's stats even better, and he's going to earn even more respect around the league and throughout every fan base, because I've seen people from other fan bases and neutral analysts from Bleacher Report, YouTube, ESPN, and all of those guys, NFL Network. A lot of them have already praised Terry McLaurin and have said that he's very underrated. But once Dwayne Haskins is up there doing his thing the way I expect him to, then Terry McLaurin will have the stats to back it up. And it won't just be us film guys that truly know football that acknowledge that he's the best receiver in the NFC East. Even the casual guys that are just box score watchers will even be able to see that he is the best receiver in the NFC East. Also, just to let y'all know, Redskins currently sit at a little over $36 million worth of cap space, which is second most in the NFL. So I'm not exactly sure why we couldn't get the Brandon Scherff extension done. I mean, that's even without Ryan Kerrigan's contract being restructured. He's getting paid $11.5 million this season. I don't want to, but if we were to release or trade him, or, a nice middle ground, restructure his contract, we could have over $40 million worth of cap space. And I'm still not exactly sure how that's not enough to give Brandon Scherff a long-term deal, but it's whatever. But I'm glad to hear that we have the second most cap space in the NFL, because next season, after Alex Smith's contract more than likely comes off the books and all kinds of contracts come off the books, we should have easily top 3 cap space in the NFL. And this season, as in the 2020 season, I want our young guys to go out there and prove themselves, see what we have, see what potential we can develop, see what talent we can cultivate by giving even the young and experienced guys meaningful playing time during the regular season. But after that, after this season-long training camp, after this season-long tryout, as of the 2021 free agency period and the draft, I'm ready to fill in team needs. And we'll have the money top 3 cap space at least, maybe the most, maybe the second most, to be able to go and steal great talent from other teams that we need. So say after this 2020 season, Sadiq Charles doesn't step up and become who I think he'll be at left tackle, then we can either draft Panay Sewell if we have that good of enough draft pick, or we can go and take somebody like David Bakhtiari from the Green Bay Packers. Same for the cornerback room. If we don't get at least 1 or 2 guys to truly step up and look like dominant cornerbacks, then we can go and steal a Jalen Ramsey from the Rams in free agency, because we'll be able to offer him more money than the Rams can, or most other 30 other teams in the NFL can. Same with receiver. If nobody's able to step up alongside Terry McLaurin and Steven Sims, even though I doubt it, because I really feel like Kelvin Harmon and Antonio Gandy-Golden have so much potential. Same thing with tight end if we need to go get a tight end. At safety, Anthony Harris and Justin Simmons are both franchise tagged. Anthony Harris with the Vikings, Justin Simmons with the Broncos. After the 2020 season, they'll be free agents if they don't get franchise tagged again. If they don't, we can offer them more money than the teams that they're currently on, and we can steal that away. So I'm very excited about our cap space situation moving forward. A lot of young talent and a lot of money to put pieces in place where we truly need them. And then we already have Kyle Smith who knows how to build through the draft, even with the rounds 5 through 7. And then if you want to stick around in this video, just for the next few minutes, I want to show some Dwayne Haskins little clips of what he's been doing recently this summer, like the past 2 weeks, just to show y'all how much he's not playing with people, just to get everybody hyped as I am about Dwayne Haskins' potential, especially 2020 season and beyond. I can see him being a great top 10 quarterback in his league easily. He has the arm talent, easily top 5 arm talent, arm strength in the NFL potential-wise. But everything else has to come together. The mental part, knowing the playbook, accuracy, things like that. But as we've seen, the physical part from these clips is vastly improved. This man has lost weight, lost body fat, added muscle. I mean, he looks like a different beast from when we drafted him. I'm very excited. So here's some clips, and then after this, I just want to talk about how different Alex Smith looks for some reason. If that doesn't get you hyped about Dwayne Haskins, I don't know what will. But now moving on to, boy, Alex Smith looks different after the surgery, bro. This lineups.com, I don't know what you did wrong. I don't know how you got this picture and then ended up getting placed for Alex Smith, but boy, please fix it. Because Alex Smith does not look anywhere near like that. So I just wanted to share that for some laughs real quick. But that's the end of this video. I appreciate the support. Please like the video if you liked it, if you learned anything. Please subscribe if you haven't. Please hit the bell notification next to the subscription button if you haven't, because then you'll get a notification every time I stream, every time I put out a video. So please definitely do that. And of course, shout out to my Pro Bowl sponsors. Thank y'all for y'all contributions. Also, thank you to everybody that donates. Thank you for everybody that's bought Street Scores merch. All of y'all, thank y'all very much. Again, the money goes right back into the stream. If y'all haven't noticed, my Sunday streams have a lot more going on. It's clear. The camera's better. The mic will be here tomorrow. So by the time I live stream on Sunday, I should also even sound better. Again, the money's going right into the stream. Y'all helped me build my PC piece by piece. I mean, I literally built it from the ground up. Even the frame, everything. Y'all help contribute to all of that, which is why my streams run smoother. They don't crash anymore. I can't wait to live stream every Sunday, every game during the regular season with this new and improved equipment so the streams can stop crashing especially. And again, thank y'all for the support, everybody. I'll catch y'all later. I'm out.